Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and chaos descends once again on the CDL. Two incredible series, especially the second one. So much on the line, and what happened in the end was absolutely shambolic, to be honest. We're going to have to dive into it. And do take your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you were new as always, I greatly appreciate it. Really upset the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, Los Angeles Guerrillas up against, of course, the Minnesota Rokkr was the first match of the day. Mental right here, of course, he former Gears of War pro, one of the best Gears players of all time. Finally, makes his debut here in the Call of Duty League. Did not exactly go to plan, as we will indeed look at. We see subliners right here having a good time up against Thieves early on, because of course they're playing against John. John was also making his return on the day. We'll certainly talk about that series here in a few minutes time. Arcitys, it was also his birthday. It's kind of funny from Cellium, kind of dodgy as well. I had these things kind of lined up thinking that maybe not too much would happen today, but it certainly indeed did. Let's talk about this first series. Billy Mental finally makes his debut here in the CDL, but not the debut that he would have wanted for sure. I think he looks a bit like Octane. Maybe we can talk about that here in just a second, but this is where we start off, and LAG actually starts off pretty well, and I was somewhat surprised. We talked about the fact that Minnesota may have been making a role change. It seems like they've now reversed that, so Attach is still on the second SMG, and Priestahh is going to be on the second AR. Probably makes more sense, but this game one Garrison Hardpoint, to be fair, LAG have been alright at this map, but as the CDL say right here, a 12-game Hardpoint loss streak where LAG on going into this series, and they break it in the very first map. So okay, you're thinking all of a sudden, right, hang on a second here. Yes, Mental's like 15 and 21, aBeZy was playing well. I mean, aBeZy had a good map, Assault had a pretty good map, and then LAG actually win the thing. You're like, wow, Rokkr just, are they just awful? Like, what's going on here? Can they possibly bounce back in the series? They do to pretty great effect. They go to the Search and Destroy, win this one 6-3, and generally new teams have a relatively harder time figuring out Search and Destroy. Of course, they've had a few days now with Mental making this a very questionable change, where Chino was out and Mental was in. A lot of people did question that most certainly, and a lot of the players on the team even said they didn't even make that decision. Silly was certainly one saying those things. We go into this control. This was ridiculous. Look how quick this was here. Mental had 5 kills. I don't know if that's the record. I think that maybe Slasher or someone got like 4 kills against the Ravens, that they got 3-0'd so quick on that map a while ago, and like it was checkmate, I'm pretty sure. Checkmate control. But 5 kills in a control is not exactly what you're looking for. And well, this is the game. Well, this is just before we go into the game 4 then. And as you can see, Minnesota Rokkr right here, hardpoint KD. They haven't been looking so hot as well. But of course, despite their hardpoint not looking so great as of late for the Rokkr, it's clearly easily good enough to get past a team like Los Angeles Guerrillas right now. They completely smoke him in the final map. I mean, it was 250 to like 61 or something on checkmate hardpoint. And as you can see right here, these are the overall series stats. Green across the board for the Minnesota Rokkr, despite losing that game 1. And on the other side of things, Mental in his first series as a COD pro, 0.53 KD, down there with the record number. I think the record's like 0.47 or something. I think I'm pretty sure all the bottom series in the game in terms of KDs have been against Atlanta FaZe. And well, this one is one that certainly was not against the Minnesota Rokkr, so not the ideal debut for them, to be honest. And I thought this kind of funny, memes_CDL, good Twitter account for sure. Lost another game. That's well, knew what LAG stands for. Let's just say that. And well, here we go between Mental and Octane right here. I think they look kind of similar. Maybe not the perfect pictures to show, but I think there's certainly some similarities going on there. And of course, they are actually in the same group, and they will play each other relatively soon. At least I'm pretty sure they play on the final Sunday actually of this stage. So still, pretty interesting series. Was big for Minnesota getting this victory though, because we talked earlier today about the standings right now for the CDL, and Minnesota are in a pretty good spot, and they were, well, 20 points or so ahead of Los Angeles Thieves. So then winning this series put them in a good spot. Okay, yeah, they get another 10 points on the board, and now the ball was kind of in Thieves' court to say, okay, can you catch us up and actually give yourself a good chance of getting to the top 6 for the major, which of course is going to mean you start in the winner's bracket, which of course is what everyone is looking for right now. This is Chrome points out, the 2016 Champs MVP is back. If you guys aren't used to John, if you've been around, well, not too long at this point, you guys may well not know that John was one of the best players in the game, if not the best for a time back in Black Ops 3, right to the end of that season, especially at the World Championships, where he won MVP alongside Slasher and Jacob, as it was at the time, and aBeZy we just talked about in LAG, but that was the NV squad at the time. Jacob's now the coach of Los Angeles Thieves. Slasher is still going to be John's teammate right here, and as Hex says, get that bread at John, certainly a legend in the Call of Duty community, and getting him respect as such. It was certainly cool to see him back in action here in the CDL. So game 1 was very interesting, because New York subliners, right, their hardpoint was absolutely impeccable while they were on their great run throughout stage 3. They won like 13 in a row. They were like on a 10 win streak, 11 win streak or something in hardpoint. It was just pretty ridiculous. Even though their search and destroy and their control was pretty suspect, their hardpoint was pretty much carrying them in series. Now here, Thieves come out and just say, yeah, alright, we don't even care about that, even though you've now got a team back in, not necessarily back in Texas, but a team's in Texas, he's back in the team. In theory, they should got a lot better. But this game 1, I mean, it was the Kenny show, it was the Drazah Drazah showed, John had a great map as well, Slasher had his moments, the slaying here was ridiculous, and they won this map incredibly comfortably, did Thieves, and it was like, okay, wow, hang on a second, this new Thieves team just incredible, and New York like nowhere near the pace of, the fact that, of course, they had a seam out of the team for the major, has that kind of slowed them down to some degree, the momentum has kind of been halted, and all of a sudden they were in a tough spot, and as Maven says right here, maybe somewhat prematurely, but who knows, Los Angeles Thieves are winning CDL champs, as he called a fair bit last year, so of course they win the game one. I mean, J-Cat's pretty happy about it, his method is just pointing out wait until he picks up and puts himself back in, like that Black Ops 3 Envy team as we just did talk about, and then we go into the Search and Destroy. This incredibly clean from Drazah, right? Of course, a lot of the storylines were on John, can he perform, but Drazah, I think, was one of the big question marks, right? He comes in another different role, like he initially came into this team as the kind of flex, then he was out of the team again, now he's back as effectively like the main, primary SMG first man in type player, because that's not really where John likes to play, especially in the respawns, and well, all of a sudden, Drazah's up here getting 2 pieces with a Krig, picking up an SMG and getting the job done. By far, I think, the MVP of this series. This Drazah guy is absolutely nasty. He, as Hazard, if it's of course is what he used to be called, I think he changed his name backwards, or whatever the case may be. And yeah, this guy's absolutely disgusting. It certainly deserves his spot in the league. Who knows what happens with the Thieves for the rest of the season, but I think he's certainly earned his spot on this team. And if they decide to go some other direction for the offseason, who knows what they'll decide to do. I think we'll certainly be seeing this guy around the league for years to come at this point. However, Subliners will start to bounce back. John decides to kill his teammate right here. Throws a grenade at, I'm pretty sure he throws a grenade at Drazah's back, even though he's on streaks. So that wasn't the ideal situation, but they do end up closing it out. It's Drazah, who I'm pretty sure he only got 3 kills. So I'm not sure why people are saying it was an ace, because I'm pretty sure that Slasher got one of the kills in this round. But, well, whatever the situation may be, Drazah finishes up 13-3, dominates this, map 2, and they look like they are going to cruise away with the series. There's a funny little stat here from round 11 stats. Fun fact, Slasher is undefeated on Moscow Search and Destroy right now. Thieves are 4-0 with him, 1-2 without him so far this season. So, of course, this game 2 is pretty ridiculous. Slaying-wise, I mean, look at Drazah right here. The other side of things not looking pretty at all. And, well, they would have to bounce back in pretty emphatic fashion. But what Subliners are good at is bouncing back in series. They've done it a few times. They had 2 reverse sweeps this season. One was against Florida. I'm pretty sure, like, maybe the first major way back in the day. And the other one was up against Los Angeles Thieves. Could they do it again? That remained to be seen. But of course, they were 5-12 in control since adding Hydra. So it didn't really look particularly promising right for New York. However, things do not go that way at all. They actually dominate the control. It was pretty impressive stuff. No one even got over 20 kills, I'm pretty sure, in this game. It was so quick. Like, the slaying when I was typing it into the website was like 56 in 60. You guys can check everything out over at Breaking Point GG if you would like. Link down below as always. But yeah, like I'm pretty sure when I was typing in the stats, it was like 56 kills for Thieves and 60 kills for Subliners, but they won this 3-0 pretty comfortably, right? At least in terms of the scoreboard, but well, it was pretty close, but the game was, well, definitely told another story. So Subliners look to try and lock down the reverse sweep, get things going right here. And then we have an incredible game 4 hardpoint. Like, this was insane. I thought the Thieves were going to win it for a time. Subliners just managed to get over the line, and it was Hydra just being an absolute monster, to be honest. This guy was out of control. The kills he was getting, he was like 29-17 at one point. I think he finished up with just about a 30 bomb. Clayster had a great map as well here on Garrison. This was kind of what you expected for New York, just about getting over the line, but it was a crazy good map, and one of the best ones I've seen, certainly, so far this stage at the very least. And that did, of course, force a Game 5. Game 5 records this season, Subliners have the ice at 1.15 KD in their Game 5s, an 8-2 record so far, but well, all of a sudden, things start to go wrong. This is where the drama really kicks in. Like, we had a long series, I was looking forward to getting to the horizon. Miami Search and Destroy is long at the best of times, right? And this was truly something else. 1-0 early on for the New York guys, then Hydra has some internet issues, he has to lag out. I'm pretty sure they had to restart the second Search and Destroy due to a similar situation. He lags out of the game, and okay, they have a pause feature or whatever, but for some reason they can't make it work, so they just restart the game or something like that, and then they play another couple of rounds. Guess what? It happens again. You simply cannot make this stuff up. Clayster even comes out on the, well, on Twitter, middle of the series, to give the smiley faces, because obviously he's not very happy with this situation. You honestly cannot make this stuff up. When it went to LAN, these issues, sometimes there's technical issues, but nothing like connection issues don't really tend to be a thing on LAN. You don't get people just disappearing from the lobby, especially having 2 times within a map, within like 3 rounds of each other. It's just like the viewership was not too bad for this series, given the situation where we're in with the league right now, and winding down towards the end of the season before the World Championships will hopefully kick things up a notch right at the end of the season. But the viewership wasn't too bad, and then like all of a sudden you do this to your viewers, and it's like, well, why would I even stick around anymore? Like I was hoping this series would be over at least so I could head to bed, but well, certainly they had other other ideas. They had like a 10-minute tech timer thing. Like, it was so confusing what was going on here. Lando was getting told in his ear, like, okay, Hydra won't even get back. They're talking to DiamondCon to try and get him in. Then they were saying Hydra's going to be playing on like a Paris server, because apparently that'll work. But supposedly what was going on behind the scenes the entire time, as right here, like DiamondCon was even talked about. Then we get this, when Hydra actually runs over to Scraps' apartment, he pulls up, hops on this PC, and then logs in there, and actually can replay the game. So honestly, absolute chaos. How does this stuff happen? I've got to say, like, certainly the online league has provided some drama and some storylines, but it's not the thing that we would necessarily like to be talking about, most certainly, well, especially with the situation as it stands right now. So very frustrating, of course, for all parties. They finally get back into the game. It's like 2-1 to the subliners or something, and then things are actually going pretty well for them. However, it doesn't happen towards the end. Like, this was incredible how subliners threw this away, to be honest. Like, it felt like, wow, Hydra, he's back in business. He's like run across the street or whatever to Scraps his like apartment block, and he set up shop there. Now he's back in the game. I mean, I'm like, what even is this league at times? It just beg a belief. And then you've got subliners who Hydra has a crazy clutch round. He like, well, he gets a nice couple of kills. I think he gets like 3 kills in 1 round or something to, well, really set up New York nicely. They establish a 5-3 lead, but Thieves, they never say die. Usually it's subliners who, make the comebacks in these types of situations, but this time it's the other way around. A crazy final round. Like, it wasn't really a 2v4, but a 2v3 most certainly. Slasher gets this kill on Mac, and then, like, look at what these guys do right now. Like, Slasher and Drazah are just playing so patient. I really thought that Dashy was just going to defuse this. Drazah comes around the corner just in time, kills him with like half a second on the clock. It was absolutely insane round 11. Like, all the things that went on this game to finish in this fashion when you've got like half a second on the clock for Thieves to win this. And of course, it says 5-4, but this was 5-5, right? Because subliners won a round earlier. So honestly, it's just completely ridiculous. It's tough to even know what to say at this point anymore. And well, Drazah, what a performance from him. He pulls up with a 1.22 KD. John, he does his job most certainly, but Kenny and Slasher did what you would expect them to do on the assault rifles, and it was John with well, not exactly the greatest series ever, but Drazah, what a monster series from him. And I just thought this was kind of funny to finish off the video from Crone. Hydra on his way to Scraps' apartment after being told he has 6 minutes to rejoin the lobby with that 10-minute tech pause or whatever, absolutely flying across the street. Intriguing your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really upset the YouTube algorithm like you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and upgrade the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you guys, as always, take care, and I will see you next time.